Well, hey, you guys. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about the coronavirus, but from my perspective, which is a little bit unique because I'm both a physician, so I get the medical side of things, but I'm also a patient, guys. I have chronic illness. I have a disease called dysautonomia. It's significant. It is a severe disease. It causes me a whole bunch of problems. And when we talk about coronavirus affecting more severely people with underlying conditions, guys, that's me. I'm at risk. And it's not just coronavirus, it's anything I catch. I'm not going to do well with that. And because of that, I'm actually kind of a germaphobe. I'm a lot of germaphobe, and a lot of people are aware of that. I'm constantly running around with my hand sanitizer here. You know, if I ever shake somebody's hand or even a fist pump, I'll quickly, put some hand sanitizer on. Or if I touch something that I know other people have touched, I'll put hand sanitizer on. I'm careful about not touching my hands to my face or anything like that. And, the whole social distancing thing kind of cracks me up. I've been doing it for 17 years. I'm real careful about where I go, how close I get to people, certain situations. And guys, it's not because I'm crazy, like Howard Hughes type thing with bugs type stuff. It's because I know if I get something, I'm not going to do well with it. I'm just being careful about it. So with that in mind, guys, knowing that I've got a chronic illness, I'm a physician, and I'm sort of a germaphobe because of all of this stuff, how has this coronavirus affected me? Guys, I can tell you this. I am no more or no less concerned than I normally am. With or without coronavirus, it doesn't change anything. Now you may be saying, oh, so is Dr. Andy saying coronavirus isn't a big deal? Guys, no, it is a big deal. If I got it, I probably would not do very well with it. But it's because it's just another thing that's out there. Guys, look, I'm an emergency room radiologist. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I have been looking inside people's lungs, not literally, but on chest CTs when they show up into the emergency room. I look inside their lungs, and guys, tons of problems with infectious respiratory things are going on all the time. And they're breathing it in and they're breathing it out. And guys, many of these things are a lot more dangerous than coronavirus. I'm making you feel very good about things now, aren't we? And some may say, well, those just aren't very common, so, not a big deal. Guys, look, some of them are very common, but even if you're going to go down that direction, guys, what about influenza? If we're going to take the position, we're going to lock ourselves down out of fear because of coronavirus, guys, do you know you have to do that 9 out of every 12 months of the year because of influenza virus? Guys, influenza hits somewhere around September and goes through May, and I can tell you guys, influenza can be nasty. If someone like me and someone with chronic illness or an elderly person gets influenza, they oftentimes don't do very well with it. It is a significant virus, just like coronavirus. Well, what's worse, corona or influenza? Guys, I can tell you when corona first hit, I was freaking out. They were talking about a 3.7% case fatality rate, because that's horrible. Almost 4 out of 100 people die if they get coronavirus. Guys, that's turned out to not even be close, not even in the ballpark close. Now that we have facts and now that we actually have data, the experts are all saying that it's somewhere in the ballpark of a severe influenza. Some say corona's a little worse, some say it's a little better, but it's in the general ballpark of a severe influenza. And guys, that's not making light of anything. Severe influenza is a bad actor, especially for people like me. But my point is this, guys, if we're going to lock ourselves down over coronavirus and fear, because we've got to lock ourselves down every single year. And I know some people say, oh, influenza is different because there's a vaccine. Guys, on a good year, that vaccine is maybe 50 to 60% effective. And the point is this, guys, for someone like me with chronic health conditions, I'm not going to live my life in fear, because if I did, I would always have to be this way. And if I lived my life in fear and I was locking myself down all the time, guys, it would be devastating for me. The degree of depression and anxiety would be overwhelming for me. And guys, I can tell you there are millions of Americans that are so depressed and so anxious because of everything that this is doing. And that depression and anxiety is going to lead to some horrible health consequences. It's not good. On top of that, I would be an emotional wreck if I was locking myself down. And spiritually, guys, I need to be at church. God tells us the importance of being around God's people. There's just such power on that. And if I couldn't do that, I'd be absolutely miserable. So guys, I'm simply not going to go there. Now, please understand what I am and I am not saying here. Guys, I am not saying, oh, let's just, for people like me that are sick, let's just throw caution to the wind, go out and pretend like there's not a threat out there. Because I'm not saying that at all. That's not how I live as a physician. I'm careful. It's all about balance here. Guys, I'm careful. I have certain precautions that I put in that I mentioned about. I think they're reasonable. Some people think it's a little over the top, but they're reasonable. But guys, we don't want to go to that other extreme either that says we're just going to lock ourselves down. We're going to hide away in fear, because I promise you that's devastating. It will devastate you if you do that. Now, some people may say, Andy, I don't know how to break out of this. I am so freaked out over this whole thing. I don't know how to break out of this. Guys, I can almost assure you, if that's the case for you, you're probably watching too much media. Guys, when this first thing hit, that was that way with me. I was watching media, I was watching the news, and they would show this stuff, and most of it is hype and hysteria, but it was freaking me out, so I had to finally stop watching that. And guys, not just that, social media. Social media, people are posting things, and it would just, I'd look at it and it would just freak me out, and most of it's just not true. Yes, I have unfollowed a number of people because of that, because it's not good for me. And guys, if you're struggling with this fear, guys, stay away from that media. It's just not good for you. Tune out of it. Instead, focus on the facts. Focus on the truth. Focus what's out there. And when you do that, guys, I think it's going to lead you to that right balance. We don't want to throw caution to the wind and just pretend it's not there. But guys, we also cannot live in fear and hide ourselves away, because that will be absolutely devastating. It's all about that right balance. Guys, I really do hope this was helpful for you. And thank you so much, guys. We'll see you.